Ba-da-bum. Ba-da-bum.
Welcome to Chilled Cardano with your hosts, Illinois and Chilled Cardano on Twitter. How are you doing?
Jesus
Trying
Christ.
something new today.
A little bit more robotic.
I do like the hyped up intro and then I go to my monotone voice after that.
It's all good, Eric. I like it. I like the switch up. Style change.
Yeah, we're trying for a more like game show type vibe.
I like it. I think it's the way to go.
I think the Gen Z will really like that kind of stuff. I don't know if they grew up with, game shows. Yeah.
The Price is Right. I still feel like kids, and today, when you stay home sick from school, you're still watching.
You watch Bob Barker with his thin little mic.
I think
No,
Bob
it's
Barker's
like Drew
dead.
Carey.
Yeah, Drew Carey.
Is he dead?
I think so. He's got to be dead. There's no way he's alive still. Maybe we should check that out before we start.
We're here for the real content. My guess is he's alive and he's like 91.
He's still alive. Unbelievable. He's 98 years old.
Holy shit.
He still got
He's
it.
been through a few market cycles.
Speaking of market cycles, Eric, let's get into it.
We're in one. We're in
a
bear
doozy.
market, and everyone is really sad, I think. We watch some YouTubers, and the ones that we watch are very sad, which makes us concerned. But I mean, everyone's freaking out about nuclear war, I guess. If you look at Bitcoin here on the daily, I mean, nothing has really changed there. If you look at the Dixie or the dollar index, it's still kind of ripping. Had a few down days, but I mean,
It's bullish.
the thing,
It's bullish, love.
that's the thing that's really driving us into the ground here. But if you look at the S&P, that bad boy is dying. I mean, it's just like the lowest it's been since late 2020. So, I mean, it's just crazy,
2020.
Every week we come back and we want to talk about the markets, but it's always like kind of the same thing. And I mean, this has been going on for like an entire year.
13 months, actually. Longer than a year now.
Oh, wow. I want to look at that. Oh, that's not a good. It says Cardano, but they haven't had it long enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, the peak was in. Yeah, it's been a year plus since the peak. And I remember buying in right before that peak, and I thought this is a life-changing moment for me. It wasn't. It was just
No, it was just in the opposite direction of what you thought it was.
Yeah, and then I don't know about you, but I don't know. It's just like I was walking the dogs earlier, and it was like raining, and I was just like, man, these markets suck. And I'm just like, when is this gonna turn around? Like, this is insane. And I was just thinking, like, I haven't been here that long, but it's just funny that when I did get here, it was like I saw the peak, and then I saw like, the bottom, and then when I look at like old Bitcoin charts or something, you see that like 2-year window of like
Flat.
Yeah. And I'm like, how long are we going to be in the flat part, because that's even worse. It's like so boring.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, what do you do in the flat part? Like, do you trade? Do you buy NFTs? Do you buy tokens? Like, but I mean, I've been doing all that stuff, so it's just I don't feel like I'm ready to leave or anything. I'm just like, I hope that the technology keeps improving and like keeping people interested, because the price is definitely not, you know.
Yeah, I think it was a lot harder back then because Cardano was just a token. There was no applications. And also Bitcoin was always just a token too. So the only thing really, and on Ethereum, nothing was built yet. So it was just like you could buy DeFi tokens, but they didn't really do anything yet. And so I feel like this time is different, especially like this moment, especially for Cardano, because within the next couple weeks and months, we should start seeing more applications come online, which should give you an opportunity for some good volatility to the up and down, which is like kind of what you want. Like you could eke out some extra ADA doing stuff like that, and also um, hopefully like a lot of these applications start having real world utility, so it's not just about pumping and dumping, right? So like instead of holding onto a token, letting it go up, then selling, then keeping your ADA, maybe this like will create more of an economy, like with money markets on liquid finance and all the automated trading with like Maladex, which is now EXO, which we'll talk about. I think it'll be a lot more interesting. Like, you're not going to get your 100x's, not now. Like,
Yeah.
I think if you get a 10x, you should be happy with that. And even for like regular markets, that's an insane move. So it's still better than like the S&P 500 as far as that goes. And I think the name of the game right now for the next year is just gain more ADA.
Yeah.
That's the move.
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done. Like, don't look at the price. Don't look at the price of ADA. Just like in a bear market, all you want to do is focus on accumulating whatever you believe in. So for me, it's Cardano. I want more of it. I think as like on a long enough timeline, like it looks slow, but the more and more applications we have, each of those applications will have more transactions. Theoretically speaking, transactions create fees, it creates a market, it grows the chain. People see the use cases, corporations see the use cases, they buy in, and then all of a sudden you get at a certain point you'll get an explosion and people will be like, holy shit, this chain has a lot of activity, we need to invest in it. That's when you get your price movement for ADA. It goes back to $1, then we're back in business. That's my theory. That's like what I think will be happening in the next year's time. So to me, it's like I have 12 months to accumulate as much Cardano as possible before things go back to the upside.
Yeah.
And I just believe this is the future of where everything's going. So it's like I want to front run everybody, and I want to get as much Cardano as possible, and then as the year plays out, see which applications have the most strength, and then also build positions in those tokens as well to see which one has the best use cases, and that includes NFTs too.
Yeah.
But I also
think the thing that sucks about ADA right now is like you can get more ADA, and then ADA like goes down in price a lot, and there's no way to like protect yourself from that unless you like send it back to an exchange and put it in like USDC. But so like I feel like Ergo is cool because I can do that there,
right,
and I feel like it's easier to play that game over there. And so I had started like being more in Ergo, but then when you're in Ergo, it's like they just don't have all the fun tools of like Cardano. So I just wish Cardano had
A stable coin.
a stable coin.
Yeah, and that's
Has upgraded
coming.
like 30 times probably.
It's fucking brutal. I really wish they had a stable coin too. It changes everything because yeah, you're able to keep your gains.
Because sometimes like
Something's coming.
this
Yeah.
dip is bad.
this is
And then with
this is
Cardano,
good.
you can't do
Yeah,
anything.
you can't do anything. You just gotta ride it.
Watch it fall.
Unless you use exchanges and then um go into like a different chain, which is fine. Do that. It's just fucking hard. Like it's not easy. And
Yeah.
um Jed's coming.
I
I
mean, if
don't
you
know.
think
I think it's
one
coming before the
ADA
end of the
is one
year.
ADA,
Well,
if you think
that's
one
my
ADA is one
mentality.
ADA, then it doesn't matter. But
Yeah, I just feel like we're so low. It's like you should have sold when it was $1, and if not, then like
yeah,
I don't know. Do you see it going a lot
no
lower?
idea.
I don't know.
Yes. Do I see it going a lot lower? Like if the market keeps going down, I think we could see another
Lag down.
dip to like 25 cents or something crazy.
Woof. So
I
hopefully,
think if it stays where it is, like it's just gonna kind of stay in that range. But
yeah.
I kind of feel like this was the last week of the dumping happens. Like things just don't go down forever. They don't go up forever. I think there'll be a rebound no matter what, but if it'll be like a legit turnaround, I don't know. Probably just like a dead cat bounce type thing. But either way, I think we're due.
I think we're due too. I think usually the fourth quarter for all markets is usually pretty good. I know me personally for my job, like I work with a lot of bigger companies, sex toy companies and what have you. But everyone's getting ready for the seasons, right? So like a lot of the companies I work with, they're hired like between 50 and 60 employees for each company. So they're expecting a lot of economic movement too, like your Amazons, your bigger printing companies. So that means that with like Halloween coming up, Christmas, Thanksgiving, like people buy shit. So that's always good for the economy, which means that these companies' revenues gonna look good too, and that's when people usually buy. So just like baseline, like the market tends to go up all the way up to like Christmas, and then it tends to dump in January for taxes.
Yeah.
So I think the next 3 months should be pretty good for the markets, and then hopefully by then we'll get Jed in December, and then like you can go into full cash position, hold out for the the dump, and then come back in right before spring, and everything's looking nice. That's kind of what I'm seeing. I think will play out. Not financial advice. But let's get into some of the shit that we see coming for the Cardano.
Yeah. What do we see? Maladex?
Eric, we're not calling her Maladex anymore. We're calling her Axo. And Axo is a setting for a new standard for trading, pioneering the transition to a fair and efficient financial system for everybody. I feel like we've talked about Maladex, aka Axo, before. But they did this update, and I think it looks really nice and smooth. And this is gonna be like one of the cornerstones of Cardano. Like when people point, oh, what does Cardano have? They'll be like, they have Axo, and Axo is the world's most frictionless exchange. The next evolutionary step of TradFi and DeFi, Axo expands the possibilities of finance with universal access to markets and powerful financial tools all in one platform. So the thing that they have that nobody else has is it is called Programmable Swaps. I'm looking for it. Give me a moment here, Eric.
I passed it up.
Did I pass it up?
There it
Here it
is.
is. Programmable swaps. Programmable swaps are a pioneering standard for financial communication and value exchange, which increases capital market efficiency and security. Every programmable swap is an autonomous unit of on chain code written in the X programming language, a new financial coding language that formalizes definitions of financial exchange and assets. Programmable swaps are the foundation used to connect the fragmented infrastructure of global finance. So, very cool.
What does that
Lingua.
mean?
Let's get into it, Eric. Lingua franca of finance. Modern finance is fractured and chaotic. Programmable swaps simplify it into an uncomplicated common language. Complex financial operations, which would ordinarily require thousands of lines of custom code, can now be expressed in simple and intuitive notation. All programmable swaps share the same architecture and can be settled against each other regardless of asset class, orders, indexes, options, etc. Non-Turing complete. The transactions happen within the bounds of a formally verified financial system to ensure trades execute securely and exactly as intended. These boundaries are called trading complete, which defines the space of all possible trades from orders to the most complex trading and market making strategies. It's system agnostic. The design of programmable swaps enables the fractured financial markets to finally be connected. For the first time, diverse electronic trading systems, markets, and chains can communicate with each other safely and peer-to-peer basis. Understandable by all, programmable swaps provide a framework for human to human, human to machine, and machine to machine communication. Financial transactions no longer require thousands of lines of code and are condensed to simple terms that are both machine readable and intuitively understood by humans. Very cool. Eric, what does that mean? Go ahead and tell us.
I was gonna ask you the same question. I don't
Um,
know. It sounds
so in
extreme.
so like right now with like Dexes, everything is manual, right? So when you want to make a trade, you have to go in there, put like how many tokens you want, at what price, and then press enter. And then at that
Mhm.
point, a market maker finds a match for you. Um, but if there's too much slippage or if the market moves against you, you're out of that slippage zone, and then um, your transaction doesn't go through, right?
So what you're telling me is, I just don't get like what they're trying to say. Like, oh yeah, it's overly complicated. We're gonna simplify it. But I'm like, what are you simplifying? I don't really get that part.
I think it's gonna be one of those things where we kind of have to get our hands on it to like really understand how it works. Um,
Yeah.
like I don't know if you've ever looked at their white paper, but it's very dense. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, these
It was like
guys,
80 pages.
yeah.
I think
I think basically what you want to like understand about this is like they're really trying to protect the trader here. So like nobody loses money. So like with yield farming and stuff like that, like if one of the pairs goes down in price, like you lose a lot of your money. With this and their yield farming, that's not going to happen. I don't understand how that works because
is it
like
that you can set like a limit
yeah, I think
where
it'll
like
just
I
be
want to get
like
out of this?
yeah, I think it'll be like one of those things where it's like um if Cardano's worth 43 cents and then the price moves against Cardano where now Cardano's worth like 40 cents, your yield farm little Plutus script isn't going to work anymore. So it's just going to hang out and wait until somebody wants your swap at 43 cents before they can actually complete the transaction. Because like it's trying to save you from the impermanent loss. So it's not going to sell you, it's not going to screw you over in your pair if all of a sudden one of the price moves too much. Um,
I
but
wonder if it's like also like, you know how you have to have like liquidity pool tokens and
right.
you have some arbitrary number. Maybe that's the part that's like simplified, like, because I know they're also doing a thing where like when you trade it stays in your wallet, like you don't have to send it to them and then get something back. It's
Mhm.
like more direct. So I wonder if you don't need like liquidity pool tokens. It's more like, okay, you have these two assets, and then we're gonna make sure that you're not gonna lose, from impermanent loss, and if we'll just give you whatever back if it's like things are trending the wrong direction.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
But I
very
don't know.
interested to
It's all
see. I mean,
speculation.
as far as like hype goes, it doesn't really get any much higher than this. I'm very interested to see how it plays out. I'm a
I
bag
like the
holder,
website.
Eric. You're a bag holder, so hopefully this thing works out for us. Just full transparency here. We're no crypto lark. We don't want people to.
Yeah, we're not selling.
So they have programmable swaps, order
What about
types, unlimited order types. Pick from predefined templates or build from scratch entirely novel order types and strategies, all in one platform. They have 25 different order types. So the market, limit, box top. We're not going to go into all these people. I'll just list them for you. But they have stop losses, which is really nice. Yeah, that's going to be really cool because stop limits, stop market. This is stuff that on a regular exchange you'll have. So it's going to be really interesting to see that on chain. Take profit market, which will be nice. So that way you can kind of set it and forget it. You have a coin that's worth 8 cents. It goes up to 12. You let the code know, hey, I want to sell at this price. That way you don't have to sit in front of your computer. You can go hang out with your dogs. Take profit limit, bracket, slippage tolerance, market if touched, limit if touched, trading market if touched, trailing. This is incredible. Dollar cost average, iceberg, fill or kill, all or none, immediate or cancel, good till date, good till week, good till month, good after day, good in between. That's insane. This is one of those things that like you're gonna have to spend weeks playing with to really get a feel for, but like really advanced traders, this is the kind of stuff that they use every single day. This is how you set up your trades. Most people when they trade, regular people, they're doing one trade. I buy at this price, 1,000 tokens, but if you have a lot of money, you can't just buy 1,000,000 tokens because you're gonna change the price. With tools like this, you're able to set multiple transactions. So you're buying maybe 1,000 tokens at a time. That way you're able to hide your buys so the price doesn't move against you too much. Because at the end of the day, this is a game. You're trying to win. You're trying to get the best prices, but you need to hide your orders so that the market doesn't move against you too much. And it makes for like really advanced trading.
It's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Do you know why they rebranded? Did they say?
So apparently in other languages, mal is like a bad word. So like in other languages, people are like offended by it. And then also they were kind of wanted to move past the word DEX because they want to be more than just the DEX. So that's why they're AXO now. All right. We got market making, Eric. Adaptive liquidity, creating a market for market makers. The AXO protocol enables you to deploy any market making strategy without infrastructure concerns or platform enforced limitations. For the first time in digital markets history, users can independently create market making strategies, which together achieve unparalleled price discovery. Axel incentivizes users to design and deploy capital-efficient market-making strategies, rewarding liquidity providers proportionately to the efficiency they bring into the market.
Of course.
Open source market making. More strategies, more participants, and unrestrained creativity lead to better and more resilient markets. Axo unleashes the community's potential. While users can incorporate pre-built market-making strategies, competition on Axo encourages and experimentation of new liquidity provisioning mechanisms and models driving markets toward maximum efficiency and tightening the spread. So this stuff is like really, really advanced. This is like they're not this isn't for retail traders. All this stuff like people who market make have millions of dollars, if not billions. They're the people who go into a clay token, and they're the ones with millions of tokens, and they kind of let market makers basically create the market for the participants and really help with liquidity. So this isn't for like you and me, you know what I mean? Like, I wish I could be a market maker, but like this whole platform is really for like not just like the best of the best, but like they want like everybody on here, you know what I mean? So it's not just cutting edge for Cardano, it's cutting edge for even if you were to be in regular markets. Like these are the tools that are cutting edge for regular markets too. And that's kind of why this is so different and so special, because you can't do this anywhere in the world. And that this is kind of
pull it off.
Yeah, we'll see if they can pull it off. I mean, it's taken a long time to build, but totally understandable. I mean, they're trying to change everything,
Yeah.
All right, so we were asking how they are saving people from permanent loss. Here's a little tidbit. By being able to granularly define trade conditions, impermanent loss becomes a manageable factor. Instead of forced loss, users incur the condition as inventory risk within a broad market making strategy. Users don't share the same market making formula and inherit the same risk, as is the case on current dexes. On Axo, every participant determines their liquidity provisioning strategy, risk appetite, and tolerance. The customers say that word. The customizability. Maybe that's a
how you spell that.
Typo.
Customizability
Of Axo's market making strategy enables users to mitigate the factors that cause impermanent loss when the market moves against a user's position and crosses their pre-selected risk threshold, their liquidity is automatically pulled or adjusted. This ensures that liquidity is only provided on a voluntary basis. That's interesting. So maybe instead of keeping your pairs in that token, it creates like a little bundle of like liquidity. So instead of being like, I have 300 Cardano, 300 ADA, and I have 300 Clay, that equals $1,000. They're just going to give you $1,000. That's what you're trading with. And so, because this is really interesting actually, because maybe they're using, native token swaps. So that way you're able to trade against everybody regardless of the token pair. So it's like, you just have like everything basically equals out to like USD. So it's like I'm trading $1,000. This person has $1,000. They want, regardless of the token, you swap, and then, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. This is so different than regular dexes. It's like hard to like comprehend.
Yeah, but I like it.
I'm excited for it.
Release this bad boy, or
who knows, man? I think that's up in the air still. My heart of hearts wants everything to come online tomorrow. I think a lot of applications are going to be released on the Cardano Summit in November. But hopefully it's October now, October 1st.
Here all over again. Remember, everyone's like, "Oh, Cardano Summit." Everyone's gonna drop their shit, and then the Cardano Summit came, and everyone's like, "We're 5 months away," and everyone's like, "What?"
Well, at least everything will come by next year, January, and then we had Muesli Swap, but
we got the slow trickle of dApps.
Yeah, I mean they're coming. It's just taking a lot longer than anybody had expected, but that makes sense because the stuff is so technical. There's like 12 developers in the space that are working on all the apps, you know. It is what it is. Um but like they're here. Obviously they're building stuff and it will come. I mean like maybe 3 months, you know.
Yeah.
Um is there anything else you wanted to look at for this, Eric?
No, I think that's all for now.
I mean, there's so much here, guys.
Oh,
If you want to, check this website out, it's intense. There's a lot here. There's gonna be more. But this is a very promising application. I think it will be probably the biggest application on Cardano, more than Liquid Finance at this point. Um,
yeah.
but at that same point, because it is so big and it's so advanced, I don't really have a timetable for it. I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't come out till February of next year.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm holding that's early to me. I don't know. Just like the grand scheme of this whole thing. If it comes earlier than that, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
So, I don't know if you've been doing any trading lately. I've been trying to, but it seems like, just give you an example, like, hold on. So, like, the other day, okay, I was trying to trade Society because I know they're having some staking going live or something, and so I was like, normally when I see something like pumping, I'm like, okay, I want to see if like I can still get in before it's like done pumping. And so I bought in at like 7, like right around here ish, and I saw this big pump like to almost 9, and then I was like, holy shit, man, I might have like perfectly timed this trade, and then like it dumped down to here, and then it started going down again, and I was like, let me just take a little profit. Like, I don't really know, like maybe I already missed the boat here, you know?
Yes, you did.
And then it pumped a little more, and I was like, just forget it. Like, it's over. It's probably a dead cat bounce. And then yesterday there was like this final giant pump, and I was like, fuck, I should have just stayed in it, you know?
Yeah.
And then I checked this morning and I see like some whale just dumped their whole bag on everybody. And it's just like, I feel like that's the whole token market right now. It's like anything that is gaining, like there's a whale that has a lot of it and he can just fuck everyone over. And now, I mean, I'm interested to see if like this is gonna recover or just dump. But I was trying to do, I was also like looking at other things that haven't pumped, and I was like, okay, clay, like never really pumped ever. So let me see if I can buy into this. The only time it ever pumped was like the first day it came out. So I was like, there's got to be some sort of recovery. And I bought like a few days ago, and then it was like right before the announcement of like the bull Zap Bull thing for min swap, and there was like a tiny pump, and then people just started dumping it again. But before that, I had like a little success with tokens. So it's just like, I feel like in the bear market, you think you figured something out, and then all of a sudden it just stops working. And that's like the hardest part of trying to trade this stuff right now. Like, unless you have some like insider knowledge or you got the token super early, like it's really hard to make a big profit. You can make like 10% or something, maybe, but I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because I just think it's like I've had a similar experience with like NFTs. Like I could make a little bit, but it's just so hard right now. What do you think about?
Let's get into it, Eric.
Trying
You're
that
bringing up
stuff.
some really great points. I think there's more to the story here, Eric. So, with like
Hit
society,
Yeah.
you are 100% correct. But like, when you're looking at charts and stuff like this, and when did you get in? You got in around what, 7 cents?
Like
7.07 ADA.
60 or something. 0.7076.
Yeah, so the problem with this is you're like not looking at the whole picture here. And when you looked at this and you're like, this looks good, you also have to look at the history of where it's been. And usually when you're entering in like these newer asset classes, you really got to look at this part right here. This is like where you probably wanted to get in, right? And like this first little up move right here, if you're watching these charts and stuff, that's where you get in, right? Before all of this. And it's also like doing a lot of research too, because you have to not just look at the charts, but you have to look at the reason why it's moving up. And so that's when you look at your Twitters and your Discords and other parts of like the Ape Society, their roadmap to see what is causing this to pump. And the thing that was causing it to pump was their staking was coming online. Let's see if we can get into it.
Our old friend NFT Maker is pumping again.
That, yeah, we'll talk about that too. So the Ape Society staking. So like it's kind of like Clay's staking. You know, you connect your wallet, boom. You see your class perks, and this is kind of how you create economics for your token. You got your kings, 2.5% of all staking rewards. So basically, this is how you're getting more of the token. And then they have the frames. The frames you could purchase with Society, which creates more, you know, buying of the token because people want to frame their NFTs with these frames. But that's kind of the stuff you wanted to look at before everything went on.
Yes.
And that's kind of why that pumped.
Yeah, but why didn't it pump when I wanted it to pump?
So, yeah, like, yeah, great question, Eric.
I guess it's just like, I guess I FOMO'd into it, but
like that's why you like when you're FOMOing in that, like looking at the history of where it's been and where it's going is like a great, like, you have to zoom out and realize, like, am I buying the top of this? And then at that point, if you did buy the top, you're in that trade, how much more can you go? You know, like it already pumped like 30%. So to keep going, it's like in this market. And then you also have to zoom out to market conditions and realize, like, can it go up another 100%? Like, I would say if like everything was pumping, yeah, like this is a great trade to be in. You know, I would even hang on to it, even if it dumped from 0.09 to down to 0.07. I would say it could keep going up, you know. But in these market conditions, it's player versus player. You have huge whales who are like, that was the thing. They were waiting for the staking to go live yesterday. So now, like, if you're still in this trade, you have to be like, let me watch this. Let me see how this plays out, because you actually might get more buying too now that like people can buy frames for their NFTs. Um, and then there's all
Yeah.
those other things where that can create buying pressure too. So the story might not be over here. This could be a good trade to stay in. I don't, you know, you have to look at those bigger whale wallets to see how much they're hanging on to. But also, like, a lot of Ethereum people are coming in and buying this Ape Society NFT project, and like,
Yeah.
this could just be the beginning. I'm not trying to sell anybody on this. I don't own the Ape Society. I don't own any Society token, but it's hard to count these guys out. They just been rocking and rolling, and
Yeah,
you
I
know,
wanted that little side action from society, or like, because I don't have one either, but I was like, I want a piece of it, which I think is like the good thing about the token. It's like, if you can't afford, now they're these NFTs that are like 3,000 ADA, you can at least, you know, play with the token.
exactly.
Be like, I have a piece of the,
You're part
I
of the
have a
crew.
piece of the domain. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, this is one of those projects where I've counted out multiple times and they keep coming back. So I think this might be something you might want to look into going forward.
Yeah.
But
all the other monkey ones, but
all the other
not
monkeys, this monkey's the one.
We had the wrong monkey.
And then
what else
going back to your Clay,
I'm still not quitting on Clay. I just think,
well, the story's not over.
The timing was wrong.
Yeah,
and I got scared, and I was like, I have to get out.
So with Clay, you were saying you were in, right? This bad boy pumped to like 2.7, and then all of a sudden it just started crapping out, you know. 2.5, it went up to, and then it's all the way down to 2.024. The launch bowl is going live on Monday. I believe at that point, that'll be interesting to see if we get more people dumping their Clay token to buy ADA, because for the launch bowl, we should take a look at that.
Yeah, the thing about this is, like, the launch bowl is such a good incentive to do the launch bowl.
Yeah.
Then it's like, why should I buy the token at that point? Like, it only makes sense to do it later, or if you see it pumping. But then if you do that, you don't get if you're gonna stake, you don't get the 3 times multiplier on your staking. So it's all very tricky, Mike. And the other thing about Clay, I feel like, I don't know if this is in my head, but I feel like the Ethereum people like shit on it so hard that it like lost its like coolness for a lot of people. So I feel like it's like people kind of are forgetting about it, or they just don't think it's cool anymore, which I think is kind of unfortunate. But I don't know if that's just a narrative that I'm making up.
I think the Ethereum people have come in here and they're using Cardano as a pump and dump. I think because they have so many followers, like a lot of them have like between, you know, a lot of these Ethereum influencers who have come over have like between 50,000 to 25,000 followers, and they're able to just like, hey, we're doing Ape Society. Hey, now we're moving to Dirtbirds. Now we're moving to Clumsy Ghost. And you've seen this every day, right? Where all of a sudden a really promising NFT group, all of a sudden they're back in the top 10. It's like, what the fuck happened, you know? And then, you know, I feel bad because a lot of the people who are NFT people aren't traders, and they don't realize that, like, you know, everything's a cycle. And like, especially just being here for so long, I see the trend. I understand that these guys are pumping and dumping these old NFT um, projects, and I feel bad for the developers of those because they're really trying, and they're excited to see it. But then on the back end, you
Yeah.
see people who are buying you know, a lot of the stuff at all-time high prices for that project, and then it dumps in the next 2 to 3 days, and then they're on to the next one, and it really like disenchants those people because they're like, fuck, I got screwed again. They don't understand that they're being manipulated by people with 50,000 followers or 25,000 followers, and you think it's a changing of the guard, but in reality, it's like you should just be investing in stuff that you actually believe in. And like for me, I don't think Clay's going anywhere. Like they just have too much traction. And after like these Ethereum people get bored of like not getting that engagement, because eventually they will be. Like
Yeah.
people kind of catch on to like when somebody keeps tweeting out that like Cardano's not good, and then the next day like Cardano's the best. Like Cardano has the best community. It's like, and then they pit you against Solana, and it's just like you see right through what they're doing. They just want more followers. That's like all they care about. Um, but go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I mean, you're making a great point. Um, but I've definitely noticed like these old projects that were kind of, I don't want to say dead, but like they're just kind of, level where they were. But then all of a sudden, these Ethereum people come over and they start hyping up the project, and then like the people that were already in it are even, they're getting more excited. They're like, I gotta buy more of what I already have. And then it's like they pump it for a few days, and then it's like kind of goes quiet, and then the trading volume is gone all of a sudden. And so it just seems like they get in, they get out, and then it's done.
Right.
Like, and it just seems a little weird, like, because I never saw that before, like a month ago. So I mean, I guess it's better than nothing, like no volume, but you just gotta pay attention to like what's going on, I guess.
Yeah.
Like at least you can do something with that. If there's no volume, then you can't. Everything's just slowly draining out. So
Right. And
in a way, it's still good.
the problem with like trying to keep up with those guys too is like you would need to be in those discords with those guys who are being like, okay, we're gonna do this project next, to like really get a hold of like whatever they're doing. But it's just a game. But back to Clay Token. This is the launch bowl, and on Monday, basically, you buy the LP token, right? So it's Clay ADA is the LP token, and then you're gonna get a percentage of the pool. And then when the amount of this supply gets bought at whatever price, the current price is 0.0199. So when 75 million clay get bought, then the yield farm will go live. So the timetable for this is 10 days, right? So on Monday, it's a countdown for 10 days. If these 75 million clay get bought before the 10 days is out, the pool will get released. So it's a timetable.
At whatever price it's trading outside of this, you'll get half ADA and half this, right? So
Yes.
Whatever that percentage is.
So this is going to be really interesting to see what price this goes to. So this is why I'm really interested in this trade, because the whole point of this launch bowl is to create price pressure, right? To grow this price as high as possible. The weird thing is no one's ever done a launch bowl where the token's already on the market. So this is like really fucked up for the people who are participating in the launch bowl itself, because if you're holding clay before, like you can like kind of make a lot of money, right? Because
Dump it.
you can dump before this goes live. So here's the play, Eric. This launch pool is going live on Monday. Like, as a trader, somebody who's watching this, like, if you have a bunch of clay that's being held and the price gets to go up because of that, like, if you're a trader and you're able to trade clay without having to participate in this, wouldn't it be smart to like just ride that train up as the price continues to go up, and then at a certain point just sell it, like if it starts to chill out?
Yeah, but what's the buying pressure that would cause it to go up? Because when you put your money in this, like, this doesn't change the price at all, because there's already liquidity put aside, and they're saying we're gonna exchange it for whatever the price is at the end of this.
So
So
the price of
who's gonna
ADA,
be buying it? You know.
the price of clay right now is 0.024, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this pool, this is the launch pool. These are two different clays. They're not connected yet,
Right.
right? In this pool, it's going as people buy this clay on Monday and it goes up for the next 10 days. Let's say it goes to 7.07, right? At
Yeah.
some point, when that pool goes live, that yield farm goes live, these two pools will be connected, right?
Yeah.
And that's when you have true price discovery. So like this is at 8, this is at 2. Like it goes, okay, guys, everyone bought the 75 million. That's when you're gonna get the connection, right? Between this clay that's worth 2 cents. Let's just call it 2 cents.
Yeah.
And this pool that's 8, because they're not connected yet. But when you put it all together, then you'll have that price discovery. It goes to 0.05 or whatever. But at some point it will connect. And that's where and we could talk about like other launch pools that have, come online. I mean,
I just think this one's so different.
It is different. It is different, but I think no, because no one's ever had the token and then done a launch pool. It doesn't, to be honest with you, it doesn't make sense to do it. You know what I mean? But like, I guess for people who are in the clay community, like you're kind of repping your like your crew, your class, like and like supporting your community. But you also might be getting fucked over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so like to counteract that, what they're doing is giving you like an NFT.
Yeah.
Right? And that NFT is gonna like up your yield farm like they did like the first time. I don't know if you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
When
you get 3x yield.
Yeah, like so MinSwap was like at 100% APR, and then you had your NFT that gave you an extra 30. So you were yield farming at 130%, while everybody else was yield farming at 100%. And it was really nice. I mean, to be honest with you, but the prices were way different. Like everybody was yield farming, and
yeah,
you were making a pretty nice little chunk of change. But with everybody taking profit, that changes like what you're able to make, so the people who are going to stay in those pools are basically getting their money taken. Because it's a bear market and people just want to take profit whenever they get anything.
Yeah, I mean, if it's 3 times APR, but then the price gets dumped 5 times 5, like,
right,
then it's still not really worth it.
Right, you made 130%, but the underlying price of clay went from 0.08 all the way back to 0.001. It's like you made $200, but you lost 1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's just so interesting how different people different projects try different things to keep the token from losing value, but it's impossible to stop like in this market, like unless you provide like actual value with the token, like, but no, you can't buy anything with the clay token yet.
That's the problem, right?
A hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you have multiple things that you could start buying with the token, that changes everything. And
yeah,
it's like you're able to buy pants. I don't know when that's going live. I know it's like kind of silly to say, but like anything that you could use to purchase with the clay token is going to help the clay token price. When the only thing that you could do with the clay token is sell it, that's what's going to happen. People are going to sell it.
Right.
You know, that's the only option you're given. And it's like you're looking at
especially when a bunch of people got it
for free. Yeah. Yep. So you're looking for price discovery. You're looking like, and that's kind of what you're getting right now. I'm saying in the meantime, like I know
the same thing with Yummy, right?
Yeah. I know that the price is gonna go up. So it's like, why not take advantage of it? It's just like finding what the baseline price is, and then you know, it could be Monday that the price starts going back up, or it could be 10 days from next Monday when the actual liquidity pool goes live. Or earlier, you know, like let's say this thing's a fucking hit and they hit 75 million on Tuesday, which I doubt, but like that's a possibility too. It's just one of those things that like if you're a trader, you're watching this, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. And we'll definitely keep you guys updated next week. I'm going to participate. Just fair warning. Let you guys know.
In the trading or in the...
Oh, the trading. I'm not doing the launch pool. I just think I think that's a losing trade. Okay. I don't like the idea of locking my tokens up. I mean, it's hard, right? Because it's like hard. I like the idea.
One side has complete flexibility, and the other one is like you're a prisoner.
Yeah,
it's kind of...
It's cool if the price was going up, but I just think there's too many smart people who understand what's going to happen. We've seen it happen so many times before. We have like, I could show you Makosi, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see, where is it? Makosi was the last launch pool. Mokos. So this is when the launch poll was released, and it was at 0.088, right? And throughout that day, or this week, this is 1 week candles, it went all the way down to 0.05, you know? So this is what happens when that happens. Like, not to be shitty, but like these are facts, right? You have to look at previous charts to be like, this is human behavior. This is what happens.
And that's like a popular project. It's not like a rug, you know?
Right? And then let's see if this chart can load. Min swap. This is the same thing that happened. This is the launch poll, and then you just get constant selling because there's nothing else to do with the token, right?
Yeah.
Like when more use cases come online, then like maybe these tokens have a chance. But until then, you kind of just have to trade what's in front of you.
Yeah. But now that we told everybody, now everyone's gonna do the opposite.
Yo, but like, so I want more use cases for these tokens. Like until this like let's all do it, and then like people will be like, okay, obviously this isn't working out anymore for anybody. Like then we'll get utility for the token, and that way it fucks over people like me who are taking advantage of this knowledge, right?
When you say let's all do it, that's not financial advice.
That's not financial advice.
And we're not all doing it.
We're not all doing it.
I keep imagining there's like a whale who like counter trades everything we talk about. And like it's really funny to me. Like he just is there to fuck us over.
That'd be awesome. I would love that.
Yeah, but that was a good conversation. I like talking about that kind of shit. Sorry to swear.
How dare you?
There's also a Discoin airdrop.
Let's go, Disco Solaris.
If you owned a Disco Solaris NFT, you got 57,000 Discoin. But that's more of like a community kind of like project, I guess. It's not like the developers didn't do that. So I've got some of those. I don't know what I'm doing with them because I don't think you can even sell them or anything. But that was kind of a cool incentive to hold. It's cool when the community kind of does their own stuff, makes it more like the world is a little bit like it's not just what the programmers want or the developers want within the project. Like they kind of let other people do like open source type stuff.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about the Disco coin is that it was community built. Like one of the whales inside of Disco Solaris had the Charles Hoskinson NFT that was minted on Disco Solaris. It was like, let's show it. Let's just show it, Eric. I can't find him.
Just go to CNFT tools and then look at their most rare one.
Well, they burned it for the token.
Oh.
So I'll show it and I'll throw it up there. But so what they did was there's a Charles NFT, and one of the people bought it, and then they listed it at a certain price, and then they're like, you know, it'd be cool if we fragmented this NFT into like 1 million tokens, and then that's what they airdrop to every single NFT holder, which was a cool idea. Because most of the times with NFT collections, they just make a token and then they airdrop it. So with this, it's technically tied to one of the NFTs. So it kind of has a price already. I'm sure it's like probably, a couple 0.02 or whatever, ADA. Hopefully we get some really nice use cases for it. Disco Solaris is a kind of a smaller team. They're moving slower, but they have a lot of big holders behind it, so I think it's a really great community to be a part of.
Yeah. Stay tuned on that one.
Stay tuned.
I was just trying to see if it's on Muesli Swap.
Is it?
Not yet. I guess no one's put it on there yet.
Did I look to see last week when they released my tokens to see if I could sell them?
You're only human,
I'm only human. Solana network has stopped processing transactions due to an outage. So Solana, for the 8th time this year, has stopped working. Eric, what are your thoughts about that?
I mean, it's not a surprise at this point. It's like, it's kind of funny that they haven't been able to fix it. I don't know. If you're still using Solana and you're still a Solana maxi, like, it's got to be getting harder every time that there's an outage. Like with a normal like tech company, if you have one outage, it's like pretty fucked up. Like,
yeah, I mean, imagine like your internet connection going out 8 times in 1 year. I'd be so pissed.
yeah,
Like
for
if
8
it,
hours.
yeah, if it goes down for one, I'm calling the company. If it goes down time like 8 times in 1 year, I'm switching cable companies. You know, I think people who are trading NFTs and using DeFi and Solana are probably looking for a different experience at this point, especially in a bear market. Like, there's nobody here, and your network can't stay up. That's bad.
Yeah,
That's really bad. Like,
that's
Cardano's
a good point.
networks even at like 30% usually right now. So it's like, you know, during the bull market last year, it was like closer to 95%. I mean, I would not want to be trusting, you know, being in a trade and then the network goes down on Solana next year if you know, things are popping. It's a bad look, and this is another reason why I use Cardano, because I don't have to worry about this. It's never gone down. I doubt it will at any point. And the network's effect are getting stronger every day. Go ahead.
I've noticed like I've started getting a few Solana followers on Twitter, which I was unheard of before, but maybe they're seeing all the ETH people mess around with Cardano, and they're like, all right,
They're fucking around and find out, Eric? Would you say?
Yeah, but in a positive way. I saw a funny meme. I forgot who tweeted it, but it was like Solana users every time there's an outage, and it's like, we're still in beta. Like, that's always the excuse, right?
Yeah.
But it's not beta. It's like mainnet, and there's billions of dollars being transacted. Like, how can you call that a beta?
Yeah, you can't have it both ways. You can't have a network that, you know, retail is already using and people are trading real value on, right? Making money and losing money, and then at the same time saying it's not ready yet. It's like, well, then why are you selling me a Solana phone? Why are you selling me Solana shoes? And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have like major apps like Steppen, which was like a walking app that paid you money. It's like, it's just a cop out to me when people say that it's a beta. It's like, you're not using, like, technically, okay, maybe the code itself isn't like where you want it to be, but then you shouldn't be having real world users use it.
Yeah.
And then saying it's a top dog when, if it's a test net, then you should be saying that. Like, if it's a beta, I wouldn't be using real money on it. You know, I'd be using it as a test net.
Right. I don't know, man.
That's why we're Cardano people. Let's go. Let's go, Eric. That's all I got for you, Eric, this week.
All right, man. 2023 is our year. The year of the Cardano.
But in the meantime, we're going to be here with you. We're here for your virtual hugs. Hang out with us in the depths of this bear market. We're not going anywhere. We're here to make it fun. Hopefully find some, you know, ways to make some cash in the meantime. That's just my 2 ADA, Eric.
Yeah. Kill yourself.
And on that note, we'll see you.
That'll do it for us, guys.
We'll see you next week.